So that's what it's going to be like. People are going to be looking up dates and seeing dates, and maybe one of these guests, it's going to be on one of these lists in the future on somebody's show, and they'll say, "Oh, that date so and so was on such and such Ruin Who on blah blah blah." So I'm waiting for my co-host. He's late, and it seems like an invisible Who, but it's not going to be like that for long. That I can promise you. And he's actually a repeat Who. So it's the very wonderful Alan Merrill. He will be here any second, hopefully sooner than that. And he's the I Love Rock and Roll guy, so we'll let him slide because we love rock and roll. And on that note, we're going to be back in 1 minute, and we'll hopefully have him and our first guest. Thanks for tuning in. You annoy me. You annoy me. I'm a repeat offender to myself. I get high, I get low, there's nothing else. You must be an angel watching over me, 'cause I'd be gone, so gone, so gone, it's plain to see. Jill, I told you that this chair would not be empty by the time we got back. Yeah, we poofed them in, exactly. Oh, that's right, I know. So we're back with Alan and Rue, and we do have our first guest, who is the most talented artist. This is Michelle Vaughn. I am so in awe of this woman every day of every minute that I know her. She is like one of the most incredible, inspirational humans that I have ever known. Can I tell a little bit about you?
Sure, gosh.
Michelle is from LA, and I've known her for I don't even know how long, but it's a while. It's at least 10 years or more.
Almost 15.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Almost 15 years. Are you serious?
Yeah.
So you've been a grown-up for that long? No, but we didn't meet. We met with Christy.
Yeah, we did, but on the street.
All right, that's good. We'll never grow. We're Peter Panaholics, I know. Anyhow, we met through my little sister, Surrogate, and then how long was it after that?
I moved here about a year afterwards.
And...
Yeah. Because that was the first time I had ever come to New York, and I got here, and I was like, that was it. I was sold.
And you knew.
LA sucks.
Aw, not to New Yorkers, but maybe to someone who grew up there.
There you go.
Isn't everything very remote?
It is. It's so hard to get around.
I lived there when I was 14 for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love New York. I'm never moving.
Well, you knew the second. Well, that's what happens when you have that connection.
Totally.
But to make a long story short, she came here with nothing at all, not even knowing her own phone number. Came to my building. I wasn't home. She left me a note because she didn't even know her phone number, and left and just said, "Hi, I met you a year ago, and you're the only person I remember. And I don't know my phone number, but I'll come find you again." And then that day,
that's sweet.
And then that same day, though, I ran into her on the street, and she was like, "I just came from your building." And from that minute on, we've been friends ever since, even though her life has flourished and I guess it's
And your
flourished.
life has flourished.
My life has flourished, but it's in a different way. You came and conquered in a huge way. Your art had. You just had an art show at the South Street Seaport. Michelle, that's huge.
Thank you.
It's giant. So tell me, explain the Seaport Project for starters.
Okay, so the Seaport Project is it's called the Sea Warriors, and the project is on 11 historical pirates. And I painted these pirates over the course of about a year and a half, and then decided that I wanted to push the project out to either urban art or public art. And I came up with the idea of flags for the seaport specifically. And so the portraits are repeated on 64 flags that hang throughout the seaport on the vintage lampposts. And then there's another area inside this sort of hidden courtyard called Cannon's Walk. And then I extend the exhibit, and I have a lot of writing there and facts about the pirates, and just an area where the whole project ties together.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something. Ever since I went to the opening that night, pirates continuously keep coming up in my world. Yeah, like a lot. Like everywhere I go, I see something else about pirates. And I learned stuff about pirates from you, about New York pirates and Sadie.
Exactly. Oh, did you
like
Sadie?
I did. I love Sadie. Can you tell about Sadie?
Yeah, I can actually. Although I have 11 portraits in my project, I have this little section off to the side inside Cannon's Walk that has two famous New York City pirates.
That's the only ones I read about.
Yeah. And one of them is called Sadie the Goat, and she used to be a 5-point. She was part of the 5-point gang, and she was a total hellion. And she ended up putting together a gang, sailing up the Hudson River on small little vessels up the Hudson River and terrorizing farmers.
I love her.
For I guess an entire maybe a year. And
how do you terrorize a farmer?
Well, you go steal
chickens
you steal their livestock, or more than that though. I think she was really after their money. So
silverware.
She found valuable
But
things.
she headbutt them, you said.
Exactly.
She must have been English.
She would. Her name comes from when she was back down in 5 Points. She'd be walking down the street, and her accomplice would sort of distract somebody, and they would stop, and then she would go and headbutt them, and then her accomplice would grab their coin purse or whatever, right?
Wow,
it's
what
effective,
a troublemaker, Sadie.
Exactly.
And she never got caught.
And she never got caught. And then she got into a big, huge bar fight with this woman named Gallus Mag, who ran a bar. This big Irish woman who ran a bar, and they got into a big brawl. Gallus bit off her ear, and threw her out of the bar and said, "I don't ever want to see you, in this area ever again." And took her ear and put it and pickled it in a jar and put it up behind the bar.
Well, even Mike Tyson didn't do that.
Where she had other ears, yeah. So Sadie, leaves earless, and she does her whole jaunt up the Hudson River for some time until the farmers actually revolted and pushed her back down, and she kind of had to sneak back into her neighborhood. Which is really strange that she was never caught.
Do you know
by the
where
authorities.
she lived? 5 Points.
Yeah, down by 5 Points. And she went in and apologized to Gallus, and Gallus gave her ear back.
Whoa!
And then she had her ear put into a locket and wore it around her neck.
Yes.
I guess she needed that drink.
What? I mean, talk about a rock and roller.
Yeah.
Wow, Sadie. So.
Oh, we're seeing the artwork now, I see.
How did the Sea Warriors pirates compare to modern piracy?
Most of the pirates in my series were either epic sea captains, or they had these real sort of notorious stories about them that made them very colorful individuals. And piracy today is really in two different areas in Africa and Southeast Asia. In terms of them not having enough resources, being very depressed.
Indonesians, yeah.
They were former
Poverty,
fishermen,
yeah.
and really it's a way of life that they've been sort of pushed into